I wanted to make a video in response to Nikkietutorials coming out as transgender. First of all, I want to thank her because I am the mother of a transgender teenager, and my child struggles with the insecurity of what friends will think. Should I tell them now? Should I tell them later? Um, what about like clothes to wear? And although we support our child 100%, our child was born Benjamin, and Benjamin is now Emily. Emily is still male, and what I mean by that is there's been no hormones, no transition surgery. We chose not to do hormones until she was 18, which will be in a few months, because of some health issues and vitamin D deficiency and some other things from medications that she takes. And it's been hard as a parent. I mean, yes, I support my child 100% as my husband. We made this child. This is our baby. She's our youngest, and we love her with all our heart. But I wasn't embarrassed. I wasn't ashamed. I was scared because I know how cruel this world can be. And I think it stems from my past, and I'm projecting that to cause me to be scared because I used to be extremely obese, and people and family members included weren't kind. And I had gastric bypass surgery. That is why my teeth are the way they are. But I thought things would change, and they did, as far as like how people treated me, especially at the job I had. I was treated better, which really hurt. But I didn't change on the inside, and that's I still have all the insecurities and all the fears, and because of that, and I've never really dealt with it through therapy. My, I project that onto my child, and all she wants to be is who she feels that she is and who she is. She hates hearing her born name. Um, and she actually took her senior portraits right before winter break. And I said, no, just, wear a tux because you're still, you still look, well, actually, I shouldn't say she still looks male, because a lot of people do mistake her as a girl, and it's not because of her hair or anything like that. She just has very feminine features. Feminine, not feminine, sorry. And, but, people still know her as her born name at the school, except for her close circle of friends and her teachers. Teachers have been great. So she wanted to take her senior portraits with the drape that the women wear or the girls wear, and I was like, oh, think about it, but she did it. God bless her. She did her senior portraits with the girl drape on the thing. It's not really a dress because it's not. I remember when I took my senior portraits, it was just some kind of a weird drape. And she asked that her name be her chosen name in the yearbook, and my husband and I were like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we went to the school. All that we had to do was fill out a piece of paper, and the vice principal, the principal, the staff, everybody has been amazing. Um, my daughter isn't the only transgender student they've had or they currently have. So they are aware. And thank God we live in a world today where, you can be who you are, but there are still those people out there that are cruel. And when I watched the Nikkietutorials Coming Out video, as soon as she said that she was transgender, I thought she was going to come out as bisexual, to be honest with you. I would never have guessed. But when she came out and said, I'm Nikki, I'm transgender, I started bawling my eyes out because I immediately thought of all those kids out there that watch her, male, female, transgender, gay, straight, but especially the transgender kids that are, that watch her and look up to her and want to learn makeup from her, and now she's come out as trans, and I just thought of all those kids that just went, oh my God, we're not alone. And they're not alone, but I know a lot of kids do feel alone, and adults too, and it breaks my heart because, like, the one thing my husband and I have always said is, being that we have a transgender, child, it is scary, and it is strange to us. It's not strange. Don't misunderstand my words. It was just strange to us that, how do we deal with it? What do we do? And really all you do is you support your kid, you love your kid, And I remember in Nikki's video, she said that Mama Tutorials always felt she was having a daughter and didn't have any sonogram because she just knew, or didn't want to find out the sex because she knew. And I remember when I was pregnant with Emily's older brother, I knew I was having a little boy. And my husband would kiss my belly at night and say, "Good night, Emily." And I'd say, "No, Mark, he's Samuel." And we did have an ultrasound, but the baby always had his legs crossed, so we didn't know until he was born that he was Samuel. And like I said, I knew in my heart I was having a boy. And then when 5 years later, when I got pregnant with Emily, I knew I was having a girl. I even went in for my, find out the gender sonogram, and I told the lady, don't even have to tell me, I know it's a girl. She said, honey, that's a penis. And I was like, no, you're mistaken, because I'd only had girl dreams. I knew I was having a girl. I knew it in my heart. I felt it. It was the strangest thing, but I knew I was having a girl. No, there's a penis there. So we'd always said if we had a girl, we were going to name her Emily Rose. And Ben never really showed signs of being feminine like Nikkietutorials talked about. And it wasn't until she was 11 or 12 that things started to really surface. Like, her older brother was in the Army, and she spent the summer going in between 7th and 8th grade, where he lived in Texas. And that's where he came out. She came out to her older brother and her sister-in-law, or now ex-sister-in-law, but I mean, she's still family. We love her to death, even though they're divorced. My older son and his ex-wife, just, they have a child together, my beautiful granddaughter. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, she came out in Texas, and my daughter-in-law and son went and bought her a wig and some makeup to play with, and then she came out to us when she got home with the help of her brother and the sister-in-law. And we were a little shocked, but never once did I say, "You're not transgender. You're mistaken. You're this, you're that." We're like, okay, well, let's go to the doctor and order with the insurance that we have, in order to even try to start hormone therapy. You have to go through counseling and therapy. And my daughter has Hashimoto's disease, and which is a really bad thyroid condition. Basically, her thyroid is actually gone. Um, it was that was a whole nother story in itself. But depression, sluggishness, weight gain, feeling awful, suicidal, and her levels were the highest the endo had ever seen. And once we got the thyroid condition straightened out, then she was able to start therapy for hormones and or blockers. That's what we were going to do. But the endo agreed that we should probably wait until she's older, just because there was some vitamin D deficiency. We still need to get the thyroid condition straightened out. I mean, it's been almost 4 years, but we just have to make sure the levels stay leveled and the medication levels off, because I'm not kidding you, it was bad. And like I said, 4 years, we're still in it, trying to figure out the right dose of meds. But her endocrinologist happens to be, our insurance is Kaiser, and Kaiser is a hospital, it's all in one. And she's the top endocrinologist for transgender teens. I mean, how lucky could we have gotten? We didn't even know when she was assigned to us. But you have to go through a therapy, you have to get a diagnosis, you have to do this, do that. And yeah, she's trans. All the doctors like, yeah, she's, this isn't something she's making up in her mind. It's not a trend, like a lot of, strangely enough, a lot of people have asked me that. Is it just a trend? Are you sure? And it's like, really? A trend? Okay, yeah. My child has never been dramatic, has never given us any grief, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, has only tried marijuana once, and that was under our control, and we wanted her to try it for her anxiety. And yeah, it's not something we're looking into. But marijuana is legal here. Yeah, she's not old enough to buy it, but you can, and we did talk to the doctors about it. This is not, we didn't just say, here, try some pot. But the anxiety and the meds, and it's just all so gross. But right now we're just sticking with the meds. But straight A student, I remember a couple months ago, she was like, Mom, I was with my friends, and it was her best friend's grandfather's funeral, and she's like, Mom, I snuck a beer and I drank half of it. And I'm like, God bless you, because my oldest son was a great kid, good grades and everything, but a little more like me, how I was in high school, but just a tiny bit more naughty. But yeah, she doesn't give us any need to worry, but I do worry about her mental health. And when I was talking to her about Nikkietutorials coming out, and how she started her journey at 7, and I just saw Emily's heartbreak in it. The mom, it breaks your heart, because she felt a little jealous. Like, I wish I would have come out sooner. I'm sorry. And I just, and jealous that she did her hormones, and by age 19 she fully transitioned, and she's going to be 18 in March and hasn't even started anything. And I had to explain to her, everybody's journey is different. It's not one person's story is not another person's story, and she's still young, and you know, she's gonna be fine, but right now all she sees is that wall that's blocking her, and Dad and I are trying to chip that wall down so she could see that she will fully transition. And I think the most brave thing that she's done is coming out. And my oldest son has been her number one cheerleader. I mean, they're 5.5 years, almost 6 years apart, and they don't see things the same because they're at different stages in their life. I mean, Sam was in the army for 5 years. Now he's out and he's finishing college up in Oregon at the University of Oregon, and already married and divorced, has a 4.5-year-old daughter, and she's in her, finished half her senior year in high school, about to graduate in a few months, turning 18. So they're in different places in their life, so they don't get along all the time. They do share a love of gaming, which helps to bond them. But Sam has been literally her number one. And when I was talking to Sam about, sometimes I get the pronouns confused. Our granddaughter calls her Shishi, so I always call her Shishi. And she calls me Mimi, even though I'm her mom, because it's just like, oh, Shishi, Mimi, and because we have our granddaughter 2 to 3 days a week, so we always refer to ourselves, and she calls her dad Pop Pop because that's what our granddaughter calls her. It's just how we are, and that's fine. But I always call her Shishi, and then sometimes I'll say, oh, Ben, or him. And then my son, he was home for 6 months between transitioning, between getting out of the army, excuse me, and going off to college. And he would get on my butt. Mom, you don't call her Ben. You don't refer to him and her in the male pronouns. And I'm like, Samuel, you need to understand, like, I'm still getting used to this. And what I told my child was, your transition is huge. I am not discounting that at all. But I just, would like you to support and understand that Dad and I are, in a weird sense, mourning the loss of our son, because, like I told her, I gave birth to this cute little baby boy with perfectly coiffed hair and little curls in the back. And oh my God, does she have the most beautiful curly hair. And, so we're mourning the loss of our son, but we are overjoyed that we have a daughter and we have a child that trusted us enough to come out. She trusted us. She was scared, but she knew that we would love her no matter what. And I've always raised both my kids to, like, if we saw two men kissing on a TV show or two girls kissing, I never shunned them from that, because we've always, and my husband too, we've always taught our kids love is love. It's not about a male and a female. It's about who you are, who you love, who makes you happy. Same with race. I always told my kids, I don't care if your significant other is white, black, orange, yellow, green, purple, blue. I care about how that person treats you and treats your family. And both of us, we've never had any problem with anything like that. I'm not saying we're like, oh, we're the most perfect non-racial or racist, transphobic, non-transphobic family ever. That's not what I'm saying at all. I mean, we kind of are, but that's not what I'm saying, because nobody's perfect. And, this isn't a perfect world. But what I'm saying is, we are open, we are supportive, but it's hard. And I'm hoping that there are other parents out there that understand what I'm saying. And another thing Nikki said, and I kind of took it for me. She said, in 2020, it shouldn't be about labels, and it shouldn't be about sexuality and who you love, and or what anatomy you have, and everybody's beautiful, and it doesn't matter if you don't have a perfect, this or a perfect that. And all I kept thinking about was, I wish that were true, but it kind of isn't. Like, look at my teeth. Um, a lot of people have been very kind to me, saying, "Oh, your teeth, it doesn't define who you are." But you know what? It makes me feel horrible about myself. And I basically hide in my house all day. And I don't want to do that anymore because I don't want to mirror that for my daughter. I don't want her to be afraid if she's feeling bad about who she is or being transgender, because sometimes she does feel bad about it, and that's just normal. And like Nikki said, you get pissed off, and you are angry, and I know she's angry too. She's angry about why me, and why are other people trans? Why are we born in the wrong body, or do we have the wrong brain? And this is something that she wants to explore in college. She wants to be a psychologist and counsel other kids, especially transgender kids, and let them know, this is okay. Look at me. And she also wants to explore, do I have the wrong brain or do I have the wrong body? And she also wants to explore why I felt so strongly I was having a girl. And I said, but that could have just been me. You know what I mean? Because women don't predict the gender of their children, but she was saying, but mom, you always talked about how strong, even before she came out. I always told her, God, I thought I was having a girl and blah, blah, blah. And now she wants to explore, like, why, why you felt so strongly you were having a girl. And I told her, I said, maybe it was, I just hoped, I wanted a boy and a girl. And I got it, I got a boy and I got a girl. But, I just want to say, and I know, I have 179 subscribers. Nikkietutorial has almost 13 million. But I just want to put it out in the universe, and I want to thank her so much for being so brave in coming out. Like I said, this is gonna, or probably already has, touched so many young people out there that look up to her and follow her, and maybe haven't even followed her before, but now they're gonna watch, her and her growth and her journey now that she's out, and say, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And to the moms and the dads and all the parents and the brothers and the sisters and all the family, you guys are gonna be okay too, and we're gonna be okay. And I'm gonna end my video on that note. And I just want to not only just thank, like I said, I wanted to thank Nikkietutorials for her bravery, but I want to thank all the other transgender people on YouTube. There's one I followed. Her name is Elle, and we talked back and forth through messaging when my daughter came out. I want to thank you. I want to thank Gigi Gorgeous, Nikita Dragon. I can't think of any others because I think those are the only transgender people I personally know about on the internet. But I want to thank all the brave kids that have, and adults that have come out and said, you know what, I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm me, and this is who I am. And to the ones that haven't come out yet, when you feel safe, it'll happen. And if your parents don't understand or they don't support you, don't. I know you're going to feel bad. I'm not going to say don't feel bad because I know you're going to feel bad. But just know that there's other people out there that will support you and will hold your hand and will be your friend and will love you. And so I'm going to end my video with that and with a big thank you. And till next time, bye.